Hello everyone and welcome to Tier 1 here in Ultronics Racing League. We are here at Japan in Season 4. As we now hear the lights start to go, as we will see the light start to flash up as Quell rejoins the session as we go to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 red lights here in Japan in Season 4 Tier 1 as JJ starts on the hard tyres, Nick on the softs, and it's lights out. And away we go. You would expect Nick to get the better start off the line from JJ as he does, as he lines up side by side going into turn 1. He's going to dive down the inside into turn 2. Nick's going to take the lead of this Grand Prix. Yes, he is. He is leading. JJ, F1 Union and Fajar swap positions. Bright in P5 overtakes Gio as Fire is all the way up into P7. Loxy has a 5-second time penalty for cutting the corner and gaining position. You'll have to obviously redo that. In the race, as round goes Bright. Bright is round at turn 8, turn 7, long turn 7. But Nick is going to pull away on those soft tyres. But the Aston Martin of JJ and the Mercedes of F1 Union both starting on the hard tyres, as well as Fire, who's made up a couple positions on the starting lap. Very solid from him as Reese Smithy is right onto the back of the Alpha Tauri, as well as Jim Bob chasing down the battle as Jim Bob almost hits into the back of the Haas, followed by the two Williams. As here comes Jim Bob, trying to make the move on Reese Smithy into 130R. What a shot this is. He's going to have to stick behind, though. So he's going to get the run down into the Casio triangle. Down the inside. What a double. Okay. Okay. Nah. Oh, what is he doing? That is... No. You deserve it every 3 seconds you got there, Jim Bob. That was not what he needs to do. But for Jar, gets past F1 Union on those medium tyres. Will there be some team orders as Drusef gets past Reese Smithy? Will there be team orders from the Mercedes as JJ is on the worst tyre? But JJ, no offence to Frankie, is the better driver, especially at this track. But Frankie is a very good driver at this track. So I don't know, will there be team orders? We'll have to see. But right now, Fajar is not on his gearbox as Fire goes a little bit wide there in the background, which allows Loxy to close in. And is Loxy going to try and make a move into the hairpin? No. But Jim Bob looking for that. It says a yellow flag for Bright, who has spun round again. Red flags being on increase now as a trial. It looks likely that we will keep it on increase with no red flags in Tier 1. But Reese Smithy being pressured by Danny Sieftes, but Drusef also under pressure from the... As Reese Smithy, he's already under fuel. He's having to fuel save, which allows Danny Sieftes, with the extra straight line speed, he goes off the track at 130R. They're going to have to keep formation as Reese Smithy cuts the corner a little bit there. But JJ, on those hard tyres, saying the fastest lap. Have the softs already died off in it? I don't know. But JJ is still right on the back of him. As Reese Smithy and Drusef are battling out as Reese Smithy gets pushed off the track there by Drusef. It looked like hard racing. I don't know if that will be given as a pen. But some solid racing nonetheless. F1 Union still keeping a decent pace to Fajar, considering Fajar is on the quicker tyre. So right now it is really Mercedes versus Aston. Who's going to come out on top? As we do know, currently Aston are struggling in the championship. Let's have a quick look. In the Tier 1 championship constructor standings, Aston Martin are currently 4th. They trail Mercedes by 29 points, so they really need this big performance then to try and catch up to them. And in the overall constructors, I believe it's a very similar story, but not to Aston Martin, but to Alpine, who is absolutely dominating in the overall constructors. Let's have a look at constructors right now. As F1 Union is closing in on Fajar. Before we look at the overall constructors, he's going to make the move into turn 1 down the inside. Fajar goes off track, but that was no contact. That is just clean racing. And F1 Union is up into P3, as once again it is instead of a Aston Martin Mercedes, Aston Martin Mercedes, it's Mercedes Aston Martin, Mercedes Aston Martin. But Gio is hanging on to the back here, as well as Fire, who is on the hard tyres. But JJ is within DRS range of Nick. Nick, I thought would be pulling away a bit more in these opening stages, but like Aston Martin 53 points behind Alpine. Not too far behind Mercedes, only 14 the overall constructors. As there is a yellow flag for Brownest Buns. The Alfa Romeos not having a good session here. P13 and 14 both have spun round in this race. As oh god, didn't do that. Loxley and Jimbo both with time penalties. I believe Loxley does have a 5 second and Jimbo got 2 3 seconds. I think that was a one-off thing. I don't actually think Jimbo meant to do that. As for Jar and Gio swapping positions, Jar loses out to the Ferrari, who has more ERS than him. Can the Ferrari make the double overtake here? Can Gio get the move done on F1 Union? There's JJ also up the road, gets the move done on Nick. Is this a sensational? As Fajar gets the move done on F1 Unions, they're going to go side by side through turn 2. Brilliant racing here from the top 5. Everyone switching positions. F1 Union losing 2 positions in the space of 3 corners. But wow, JJ leads Nick on the soft tyres. Have these soft tyres already died out after 4 laps? See. But JJ is quick. Purple sector 1. No one can deny that. Yeah, it's quite close between like the top 8, I guess. I mean, all the way down to 12. There's not even 10 seconds between the leader. Like, it's pretty close to be honest. There's lots of battles going on everywhere, which is what we like to see as we catch Dan Sieftes going a bit wide there, getting a 3-second time penalty. Not amazing there for the Williams driver, obviously retiring disqualified last session for getting 3 drive-through penalties. See, so I'm going to look up a little bit. But look at that, Nick really dropping back. JJ, fastest man on track on the hard tyres. He is quick as Reese Smithy. What has happened? He is round. Did he try? He's done going into the pit lane, but he's in the pit lane. Does he have damage? No, he's retired from the session. Very valid, to be fair. If he spun round, I guess he thought his chances weren't really there, but as unfortunate for him, almost in the points last session, got P11 due to an after-race pen on both of the Aston Martins. So that's unfortunate, but he will be back charging for points. As what has happened to Nick? Nick has spun round. He is trundling down the order, down into P7. No, what has happened to the man on soft tyres? Did he just go right on the safety car restart? This is perfect. Alright. Have a look at the compound tyre. Everyone's like, ooh. Obviously, JJ having to go on those mediums. But we do see the safety car restart, luckily, at the end. When will JJ go? Notorious for his slow safety car restarts, but he goes over 50 miles an hour through the chicane, so it's not too bad as he goes after the line. Gio has been caught a little bit there, but F1 Union has not, and is on the back of Fajar. He's going to try and make the move into turn 1 as we see further back. Drusev's trying to make the move on Fire, but no, as F1 Union goes round. Red Fire Tiger says, thank you very much, I'll have a bit of that, and takes the position into turn 2. Gio and Frankie, are they not firing up their hard tyres quick enough? As they are under pressure. Gio losing time to JJ, and Fire and Frankie under pressure from Fire. Unfortunately, Loxley has lost quite a few positions in this race, but we'll have to grin and bear it. As Brown Espans has spun round. He's back. That's all he's going to track. Loxley on the back of Nico. Nico obviously dropping. He's back on the back of Nico. Yeah, Nico losing some positions there after a spin. Believed to be his own fault. I don't know. To be frankly honest. JJ, look how quick he is. 1.5 seconds clear. This is the JJ we remember. From season 2. We remember the JJ season 3 USA and Miami. He was really quick. Danny Jeffers gets past Loxley. He goes very deep. Loxley manages to get the switch back. He's going to be able to get the throttle underneath. Danny Jeffers comes across track to block it off. Nothing's going to happen due to that, but it means that Bright is going to be on the back of Loxley. Is he going to try and make a move into turn 1? No, he isn't. That's Nick on the back of the McLaren of Quell. Fire and Frankie both on the back of Gio, who's losing substantial time to JJ. You can barely see him in the distance. There he is. You can see him going through, but up the hill you could not see him. Right, still on the back of Loxley as he has a little bit of a moment out of turn 10, turn 9. But Nick does get past Quell through the hairpin, gets the traction down better. Quell's going to have to sit behind after that one. Just keep the gap from Loxley. He's in an okay position here, Quell. Never scored points so far. He almost sits into the back where he makes a little bit of contact. But, yeah, Quell yet to score points. McLaren are yet to score points in Tier 1. And with the Red Bulls, who unfortunately not racing as Bright and Loxley switch positions. But Loxley, what an exit. Going to be able to try and make the move on Bright. No, he's not. He's going to stick behind. But yeah, these three, well, 4 I guess. F1 Union's also there, but I'd expect F1 Union to maybe get past Frankie. As Fire does get past Frankie. I did miss that, but it is now JJ leading from Gio, from Fire, from Frankie. Jar is still staying to the back of Red Fire Tiger though. Just dropping a tiny bit from Gio. Gio seems to have some good pace here. Right, it was last season's race winner at Japan. Right now down in P9. First time we had Japan on the calendar. He was the first ever race winner. Due to F1 Union getting a pen for resetting to track at that point. The track was illegal. And did unfortunately get a pen for it. That's where Laitan, who is currently in Tier 2, got his first ever podium. Yeah, I got pole position last year, but we can't really compare times because it was like a 29 flat and the track is just got a lot quicker this year. As who is round? That is Danny Sieftes in the Williams, down into P11. Darren S. Buns, he's just having a nice little drive. Don't blame him, to be honest. We've got almost at the halfway point in this race, with JJ leading the the rest of the pack by quite a bit. Obviously, I predicted JJ to win the championship, as Brown S Buns has spun again. I predicted JJ to win the championship, and first 2 races he didn't show it. He got pole in Miami, but mistake of his own cost him. But this race, he is proving that he has still got the pace that he's shown in some races in Season 3 and Season 2. Dessalai Nico gets past Drusev, which means the Mercedes line up 5th and 6th. The battling here from 2nd to 5th is going to allow Dessalai Nico to catch up. It currently is medium hard, medium hard, medium hard for the top 6. So there is a change in strategy, as ERS are all pretty similar. Union the most. But Gio hanging on pretty comfortably in this race, but it is very close. I mean, from like what look at that, top 10 separated by 7 seconds, like all the way down in 7th. You can see 2nd place. So as Gio extends the gap a bit to Fire there, but no one's going to be able to make a move at any point. Fire sticking behind, still within DRS, but Fajar is on the back of him after a poor exit then from Redfire Tiger. Fajar is going to take the position, move up into the podium, and is taking P3 in this race. Is now going to chase after Gio for P2, both on the hard tyres, and no advantage for either driver then. As Gio on 8% more ERS, 6%, so pretty close then. I think Union has to use a little bit of ERS, but what did I say? Nico has closed right up. I mean, everyone's closed right up as we see Bright go into the gravel. As that is unfortunate. He's had quite a few spins here already today. I believe there's no assists, so it's unfortunate for him. He was looking okay. Race went here last year. You expect him to try and carry it through. It has been an unfortunate day for him, but he's going to carry on the race. He's still running in the points positions. Who is the biggest gainer here in this race? It's Redfire Tiger, gained 5 positions. Great stuff from him, starting down in P9 after not a great qualifying. Has now made positions, but is Fajar going to make it? And Aston Martin 1-2. It looks very likely as he's going to go down the inside on the straight and makes the move going into turn 1. It is an Aston Martin 1-2. Wow, we saw a 1-2 lockout in Tier 2 at Miami. This season we haven't seen a 1-2 from the drivers. So if these two can do it, be the first ones in Season 4 and Season 1 to do it. Fajar was the first ever driver. No, front row lockout. Who was the first ever driver to finish first or second? I don't know who it was, but the last time I can remember was Deancon and Darth in Season 3. Dancef does a bit over the grass as Bright is round again. Not a good day at the office then from the Alfa Romeo. Mayos even. Mayo. Is soon to be lapped then by Aston Martin of JJ, who's on those medium tyres, so he is going to have to nurture those tyres a bit more. There is still 12, well, after this, 11 laps left in this Grand Prix, so his tyres will be on 19 lap old, which isn't very like that is quite high in tyre wear, so he's going to have to manage his tyres quite a bit. For Jar on those hard, he's going to be having a bit more of a free push. But here comes Gio trying to claim his P2 back, but he decides to sit behind. He doesn't want to go for the move there. He sits behind. As Quell gets a 3-second time penalty running in P9. Time penalties I think are going to be quite big here, as everyone is running fairly close to each other. Well, like at the back end of the cars that are piled up. I mean, there's a bit of a gap between Nick and Drusef. As Bright is out of this session, he's retired in the pits. It's unfortunate. Last year's race winner is out here in Season 4. Nick on the back of his teammate. He seems to be quicker. Is there any team orders? Are they going to let each other fight? F1 Union is deploying ERS. I think these two are being left to fight. Left as free bait for each other. But Nick seems to have that pace advantage over F1 Union. These mediums do go through a stage like laps 8 to 9 where they are not very good. And they do start to die off and then pick it back up again. It's like between 30 and 40% tyre wear. They're pretty bad. But Thessalonica does get past F1 Union and look like it was decently team ordered. As Drusef comes into the pits. So you're gonna slap on the set of mediums. Looks like he will do. Yeah. And where's the tyres? It is a set of mediums. It's been quite a good race. Loads of cars running fairly close to each other. As Danny Siesta gets a 5-second penalty for speeding in the pit lane. Both Williams do come into the pits to put on a new set of mediums. Will, at this rate, finish P9 and 10. So it is a double points finish. Help out there. Tier 2 drivers of Lightan and Vortex who are doing quite well. I believe Lightan leads the championship in Tier 2. We'll have a little double check. No one is, I mean, everyone's quite close to each other, like I said, but no one's going to seem to make a move except from Gio, who is on the back of Frankie. Frankie is under pressure here from the Ferrari. The Ferrari seems to have pace today. I mean, I did predict him 5th, but he seems to have more pace than I thought. As at this rate, he will be leading the Tier 1 Drivers' Championship. As there he goes. There goes the Ferrari of Gio back into P2. Fire is on the back of this battle though, as the mediums come out of that phase. They very well might have, as I am right, Lightan does lead in Tier 2 by 2 points to Jamboy. Yeah, Nick was currently leading going into this race on 38 points after maximum points at the last Grand Prix. Gio on 35 behind him. And then will be Alex, who cannot race today. Then will come Gio and Fire, both in the same amount of points. And Bright, who is unfortunately retired, and F1 Union. But the Mercedes of F1 Union has dropped out and is kind of in a bit of a world of its own. 2.3 seconds gap behind, 1.7 the gap ahead. But these four are squabbling here. This is the battle for P2. These four, look how close they are, almost touching front axle to rear axle, going through the final chicane, going through the Casio triangle. But here comes for Jar to claim his P2 once again in this race. Down the inside goes for Jar. Fire looking for the move here, as well as Fire goes down the inside of Gio. What a move then from the Alpine. That was a brilliant move then. as Fire saw the 2 cars ahead battling, and like he did earlier on in this race, said thank you very much. I'll have a piece of that, and goes down the inside. Fire up into P3 now in this race. What a performance it has been so far for the Alpine, having to cover being the lone Alpine today. Wishes go to Alex, who is currently feeling unwell. Hope he gets better soon. But Fire is chasing now down for Jar. Still currently an Aston Martin 1-2. Very solid performance so far, but this can all go south. One of them gets a time penalty like Danny Sieftes has just done, and it could all go wrong for them. But it's a close battle. It's anyone's game. It's any of these second to fourth game. Let's look how close they are. F1 Union probably just enjoying the show right now. I mean, he could probably see a brilliant battle ahead of him forming. As who goes wide for Jar? He's wide at this Casio triangle, which allows Fire to get the run on him, as well as Nick. Look at Nick. Nick has got the best run out of all of them, and it's going to be 4 wide down the straight. This is brilliant battling, but Gio is going to come out on top. Nick's going to try and make the move on Fires. Frankie has lost 3 positions there in one straight. But Fire and Gio still side by side. Fire goes around the outside, and he's going to take the position. What some racing then from these 4. This has been absolutely fantastic to watch. 3 of them on the hards, and the 1 person on the mediums manages to come out on top into P2 with 7 laps left of this race. But this battle has been great. I've been loving every bit of it, and hoping that it can excite us right till the end, as F1 Union has caught up as well. Can F1 Union, imagine F1 Union comes in and steals P2. It could happen. Very well could happen, as he is now within DRS of Fajar. It's any of these 5 now. F1 Union has joined the party. There's a yellow flag in Sector 1. It's Danny Sieftes, who has caused a safety car and is out of this race. That is a big upset then for JJ, who was the leading car by over 6 seconds. Now this is going to come down. Which of these are going to pit? Everyone's so tight. Track position is going to be important. JJ comes into the pits. Is Fire going to take track position? No, he comes into the pits. Gio doesn't. Nick doesn't. Fajar doesn't. F1 Union doesn't. No one's going to take track positions. Everyone's going to come into the pits. As no one's going to switch positions. There might be some double stacks though. Fajar will be double stacking with his teammate and might get held up a little bit. As so will F1 Union. But we'll have to have a look at the end of this. Has F1 Union really badly lost out here? Yes, he has. F1 Union is down into 8th. That double stack not working well for him. So let me just check there, because unsafe release should not be on. But that looks like it was. Oh, my bad, lads. I did just check. It is on hard, right? Yeah. My bad. That's apologies. As F1 Union should have got out ahead. Fire! Not even going onto the softs, onto another set of mediums. The F1 Union did lose out massively there with that double stack. Loses 3 positions to Quell, Drusef and Loxley. Quell in a very solid P6 right now. Is the only one with a time penalty though. Drusef did not pit. So he went in P7 after pitting earlier on in this race. Teammate caused a safety car. Obviously, I would not hope that's intentional. I don't think it's intentional because they would have both been running in the points. So I can't see why it would be. But Brown S. Buttons could be running in. It could be getting a point in this race. What a debut it's been for the Alfa Romeo then. Have a look. What did Danny say? Don't want to talk about that man. Fucking bullshit game. To be honest, just makes me leave. Who comes into the pits? F1 Union. Whacked on another set of soft. I mean, don't blame him. He doesn't lose him any positions, so it's not a bad strategy. The longer they're out, the less chance these softs are going to have of firing up and being effective. They want to be out soon enough. I don't believe the safety car will be in this lap. Yeah, no, safety car is not in this lap. It will be in the next lap though, which does allow Brown Esteban to catch up. So JJ will lead the safety car on the soft tyres. He will not be happy about that safety car, because it means that he is under pressure now. The second safety car in this race. The first one was caused by Jim Bob trying to go into the pits and lost the rear end, it seemed. When will JJ go? Leading everyone away. Where's he going to go where he went last time? Or is he going to go a little bit earlier? He goes about the same. But who's got a good launch off the restart? Everyone seems to have kept the same position except from the AlphaTauri of Loxi. As well as Redfire Tiger. He's going to try and make a move around the outside into turn 1. Then got the inside line into turn 2. Are they going to make some wheel banging contacts? No, they're not. But clean racing. Then, as Redfire Tiger tries to go around the outside. No, he has to stick behind, unfortunately. Loxi got past Drusev, I think. But Nico on the back of Gio. Nico going to try and go down the inside of the hairpin. Yes, he does. What a move. Down the inside. Is F1 Union gets a 3-second time penalty. But that was a great move then from the Mercedes. Tension for overtake of the week there. But fine, considering he's on those mediums. He is sticking to JJ. And Esteban Nico is almost a second back. So far, to me, it seems like he might be fired for driving the day. But we'll have to wait and see what happens at the end of this race. JJ says the fastest lap of this race. With 2 laps left of this Grand Prix to go. Is F1 Uni gets another 3-second time penalty for corner cut. I don't know what has happened. He's got 2 3 seconds. But oh, as they make wheel banging contact and they are into the wall. Neither of them DNF, but I'm not sure whose fault that was. Did we see a red flag? No. I mean, neither of them DNF, so I don't think it would be. I'm not quite sure what happened there. I don't know if that was Drusev just turning in a bit too much there on F1 Union. My predictions, all I can say is I predicted JJ Fire, Nick, Frankie Gio. These two are the other way around, but they can easily swap. If I do, then I've gone 5 for 5. That's all I'm saying. That is a sensational performance. But yes, as JJ will start the last lap of this race, he comes round the Casio triangle. You see, he has been deploying all his DRS. I mean, no surprise, to be honest. DRS enabled, but it won't do anything. So we will not have DRS because there's no other DRS zones in this lap. JJ just needs to bring this one home, not make any mistakes, as Fire is eager right on the back of him. Frankie is also eager on the back of Gio. Can we see a late move then from the Aston Martin, trying to score good points for them? Fire is still on the back of JJ, not letting him go. Bad audio. There we go. See if Fajar can get Gio's Drusev gets past F1 Union. Don't know what F1 Union's doing, but just stay in this race, you get a point. I wouldn't DNF because you don't get a point then. Every point matters here. But they're both going to deploy all their ERS. Who has the better straight line speed? We'll come back to that in a second. Because here comes Red Fire Tiger. Can Red Fire Tiger make the move into the Casio triangle? And the last time I'm asking, yes he does. Down the inside goes Fire. Pushes JJ off track. JJ comes across and they make contact. Nick is going to go through and take the lead of this race. Oh my, what has happened? As Esteban Nico will win the Japanese Grand Prix with Gio in second, Fajar in third, Loxy in fourth, Fire in fifth, JJ in sixth, Pearl in seventh. Proud of Bud P8, love that. Drusev P9 and F1 Union doing the donuts for us as his teammate wins 2 Grand Prix in a row. Oh, who got fastest lap? JJ. What happened there? It looks like Fire coming down the inside, pushed JJ off. JJ came back, tried to squeeze Fire out, and Fire spun him right. Oh, right. That will have to. I mean, I am the FIA. I'll have to look at that tomorrow. I want to see what is being said in the Tier 1 chat right now. Here we go. Here we go. JJ, bro, got shanked. Come on, F1 Union. I mean, I'll get the top 3 in the party to start start the interviews. Gio. And who else got on the podium? Frey did get on the podium. First time since Brazil manages to finish P3. Why am I inviting them all to a game? Ugh, I'm such an idiot. I'm inviting them all to game and not party. As Nick is on Do Not Disturb. Hi. Wait, did Nick, was that you that just joined the was that Gio? It was Nick, okay, never mind. Oh my god. Alright, I'll let you include your audio in a second, I just need to finish the outro. Well done, Nick, on winning the race as we see him come out onto the podium holding that British flag. We see a British, a Swedish, and a Pakistani man on the podium. Nice little mix in the podiums. We see 3 different constructors, which is what we'd like to see here in this league. But Nick, for the 2nd time in a row, wins in Ultronics. He wins here at Japan, as that is going to be it here for Tier 1. JJ claims the fastest lap, but driver of the day was going to give it to Fire, but after what I just saw and he finished 5th, I'm not sure if that's going to happen anymore. What was he finished 4th? I'll give it to Gio. Gio, you get driver of the day, so well done. So we now move on to the interviews. We go to our P3 finisher for Jaro 7. How do you feel coming out of that race with a P3?
Well, overall in the race, I felt like I deserved it, but I mean, it should not be me here, because I mean, I was very happy with my pace, but that last lap incident with JJ and Fire just gifted me 5 points, I'm just going to be honest. But the pace was good, and me and JJ were quite comfortable, especially in qualifying, so it's good to see.
Yeah, I'll go on to that. I mean, it was a very good qualifying, 1st and 3rd, and you obviously saw the Mercedes line up 2nd and 4th. Did you think it was going to be a close battle with the Mercedes? Did you think that you were going to be able to try and get them off the line? But you both went for the hard tyre, so were you thinking of going long, but that safety car ruined it? Just tell us through what the strategy was through there.
I got a bad start. I thought there was going to be a formation lap, because I'm an idiot. So my start, I just didn't go. And then I was in 4th, and then I was just like, Union in practice, he doesn't really have the pace compared to the other 3 in Aston and Mercedes. So I was very concerned of Nico, especially when he was on the hards after that first safety car, because I know how quick he is. But yeah, it was a good battle today with the Mercedes, and I guess the 1 Alpine and 1 Ferrari. But it was a good chance to get points on them.
But yeah, I mean, your thoughts on that Fire and JJ incident? Obviously, JJ being your teammate, obviously the safety car screwed him over. He would have won by a clear amount, but safety car, unfortunately, that does happen. But it meant that JJ got caught up in the incident. So run us through what you think. Who was at fault? I know you obviously might be a little bit biased, but because of like teammate stuff, but.
Yeah.
From an outside point of view, whose fault did you think that was?
Well, I couldn't really see it because I was very far behind, still behind Gio at that point. I just saw, well, I heard JJ say some things, and I was like, okay, something's happened here. Then I looked to my right, seeing the gravel, there's 2 ghosted cars. So I don't know whose fault it was, I'm going to have to check, but yeah, none of them very happy at the moment.
All right, well, thank you for your time and well done on a P3 performance. Back from Brazil, back on the podium, getting that point for Aston Martin. So well done to you.
Thank you.
We'll now move on to our P2 finisher here in Ultronics, Gio Johannes. How do you feel after finishing P2 in that race?
Yeah, I have to agree with Fia because I should really not be here right now. I should be fourth, but because of the incident between JJ and Redfire, I got the P2.
Yeah, you managed to get P2 in the end, but you're currently sitting second in the driver standings behind Nico, as you're going to keep that P2. So is the title fight still on? Are you still think that you can get there?
Yeah, Japan isn't really my best track, but the tracks coming up right now on the calendar, I think I can be a bit more competitive.
Yeah, that's very good to hear, and we could hope
that fight up.
Yeah, I mean, we would hope to see that. We hope to see a nice little championship battle forming, but solid race from you. You managed to just stick in there. I mean, at one point, that battle between five of you, between you and Fire and Nick and Frankie and Union, like, that battle was amazing to watch. Did you think that that safety car, before that safety car, did you know where you were going to finish, or was it just anyone's game at that point?
No, I think it was anyone's game. We were just bunched up, and of course the one that finished like before everyone else gets it, and of course you want to be like P2 and P1 in that kind of like train, so you can get the most amount of points out of it.
Well, yeah, I mean, you managed to do it, even though after the collision you said you shouldn't have been on podium, but it happened. Things happen, collisions happen. You still managed to keep your position, and you did finish P2, so well done. Hope to see you up there fighting for the race win. Alright, we will now move on to our race winner, SLR Nico. 2 race wins in a row. How do you feel coming out after that one?
Definitely. I mean, similar to Frankie, glad to be here, but definitely probably shouldn't be. I don't really know what happened with the strategy because both of my strategies were either hard, medium, or medium hard, and it put me on softs.
It worked.
It did work. Luckily, obviously the safety car came out.
Yeah.
Did lock the rears just before that, which was one of the things I was struggling with most. I know JJ with ABS was using like 50, 51 brake bias, and I had to go 53, 54. And even so, you clip a little bit of grass and you spin. I mean, I'm happy with the win, to be fair. Obviously, missing next week with a sprint as well. That's, even more points to lose. So I'm happy to obviously bring home a solid, the most points you can get, obviously, without fastest lap. But yeah, really pleased to get the win.
Well, that's good. I mean, I'll ask you from your perspective, from the Fire and JJ incident. You were the closest one behind. You obviously saw it. So, from the best view of any of the other drivers, what did you think?
Well, in the moment, I thought I was going to be too far back to actually gain anything from it. But from a clip I took, it looked like the send 5 was close enough to send it, but obviously pushed JJ off. And at the end result, I think JJ rejoined and cut across Fire, which took them both out. But at the end of the day, JJ shouldn't have been in that position where he had to cut the chicane. So I think I'm going 50-50. But I mean, they could have made it through cleanly if it wasn't for the part where JJ rejoined. But yeah, I think if I was to say anyone, I'd probably say it was JJ's fault.
Alright, well, yeah, I mean, I have to see what me and the other FIA think, but like you said, not going to be here next week. You are going to the Belgian Grand Prix, so have fun with that. But yeah, you still got the win, still managed to get 25 points, 2 wins in a row. Very solid performance from you. So yeah, that will be it here in Japan. I'm Simon Drakely. Thank you for watching. Make sure you like and subscribe, and we'll see you all for Imola. Goodbye.